Hey guys, it's JL Phoenix, and today I'm taking the character I created for Style 2 that I made in the last video where I was experimenting with my art style, and now turning it into an illustration. So after I gathered a few references, and also Mal, which is what I'm calling the character for Style 2, I began drawing the scene I saw in my head. Originally I was thinking about having it where the masks were on the curtains. So as I was drawing Mal, I had to try and remind myself how I originally approached her. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, she's mostly a shape. As you can see, I was really trying to make sure I keep her mischievous personality as I drew in the first time. I decided to incorporate that same wide smile that she always has into the drawing. Honestly, when it came to drawing the mask, it was a real pain. My hand was actively hurting. Because if I remember correctly, shortly after I had worked on this drawing, I had just finished doing Kane's drawing, so it just added to the pain. I remember while I was drawing these masks, I was also thinking to myself, man, why am I doing this? Why am I making this more difficult for myself? I drew different faces on each of these masks. I took the time to do it, and I'm gonna have to redraw all of that when I go back over it to clean up the sketch. Or rather, not to clean up the sketch, excuse me. I'll have to go back over it when I outline it. So, this whole time while I was cleaning up the entire sketch, I was sitting there contemplating, do I really want to keep this? You'll see later on in the video that what I decide to do with the mask. So, funny thing that ended up happening. So, I had forgotten to draw part of Mal's hoodie on the little ear part, and the ear's just kind of just floating there, right? It's just there, not attached to anything at the bottom of her skirt. So, it just kind of looks like, how the AI images be looking like, and it's just it is missing a piece of a limb or a piece of clothing or whatnot, or you just see a floating hand. It's like that. It ended up looking exactly like that, and me and my brother Zeta, we were laughing about it. I was telling him about the whole thing that by the time I realized it was too late, I had finished the recording. So yeah, that's just a funny thing that I noticed, and that ended up happening during the process of me drawing this. Originally, I was planning on doing a little design on the carpet, and then I was like, nah, If I wanted to do a design of the carpet, I would literally make a brush for it. Instead of just going through the process of just trying to scribble something to make it look like it's a design, I was just like, no. Coloring the window frame was probably like a nightmare for me. And I say that exaggeratedly. Like, essentially, me going out of my way to color every individual thing, I was just like, okay, just color it all in one go. And then I was just like, I'll clean up the mess later. I cleaned it up and I'm sitting there going like, oh, this process takes forever. And the entire time I was thinking about, oh man, you know, I could just use the selection tool. It's the magic wand tool. I could use the magic wand tool and select every area that I drew and just, you know, allow the paint bucket fill to color it in. But then I realized there was a part of the window frame that I did not draw in. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna have to color this by hand. I accept my fate. So, like, at first, when I was coloring the curtains, and also why I colored the window too, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep the red, but I knew that I really wanted to use, like, a red, like, scene. I wanted the scene to have a lot of reds in it. I was like, I don't know, I just want to increase the mystery, the mischievousness, and the fact that, Mal is a chaotic individual. You know, so I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna try. I was like, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna see if I can make this work. So of course we going in with the shading of the curtains and stuff. I had to remember how lighting works, and eventually after I do all like the texturing and everything on the curtains, I try to do the shading. And at first I wanted to like shade the floor like how I would if I was drawing on paper, but it didn't work out. So I ended up just kind of copying and pasting the window and the curtains just to make the shadow. Funny thing, when I did the shadows and I did like the window frame shadows on Mal, I didn't think about the fact that, and I was just thinking this the entire time I was doing the lighting and stuff. I was just like, you know what? Wouldn't it make sense that the shadows would actually technically fall behind her? Like the shadow of the frame would fall behind her and not in front of her. Instead, there would be a shadow in front of her. Yeah, so I ended up fixing it and I was just like, yeah, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, that's what I did. And then of course as I finish up, I add any extra lighting I needed, you know, any extra effects. I add that little noise effect on the picture to keep that consistency with the style, because the whole style has like a noise effect going over it to kind of create this, I guess, grungy look, as I like to call it. But all in all, I really enjoyed drawing this. This was a wonderful piece to try and do, right? And it was nice to try and take style 2 and really incorporate it into a full drawing and go from there. And of course, redraw Mal. I like drawing her. But I was also thinking too, like as I was finishing up, that I might do a video where I might expand a little further with style 2. Possibly drawing more characters in the same way. Maybe even like kind of creating like its own little self-contained universe at some point. I don't know. I'm still debating on that. Regardless, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, I want to make sure to give a shout out to our Patreon supporter, The Ocean Shock. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. And thank you all for subscribing and being part of the Phoenix Squad. Don't forget to leave a like and make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye!